Hey YouTube. So here I have some Int Faith invasions for you with a little bit of a difference. Now I've seen a couple of people use the Black Steel Twinblade recently and I thought it looks really cool. I definitely want to check that out. So when I looked at the weapon I noticed it had some faith scaling. Not much, but you know, a little. And it comes with the spinning slash Ash of War, which you can change, and therefore you can change the infusion of the weapon. Now if you magic or cold infuse the weapon, you retain some faith scaling, but you also gain some magic scaling as well. So essentially it kind of becomes an Int Faith weapon. Now you know, the scaling's not super great, but nevertheless you know, you can use it for an Int Faith build. So that's exactly what I've done. So the Ash of War I have is Ice Spear, which is from the base game, but I've never actually used it before. So I have some Cold Infusion, and then for spells I'm using the Staff of the Great Beyond, which lets you cast both incantations and sorceries. Now I'm around 60 Int, 60 Faith here, so for sorceries it's pretty much the same damage as the Prince of Death Staff, only like a tiny little bit less. But for incantations, you'd get 10% more if you were using the Golden Order Seal, but obviously you have to, you know, have that equipped as well as the staff. So here I've just gone for utility. And the spells that I'm using, so it's ones that I've liked, having tried various things out in you know, invasions and duels. So I've got Massive Putrescence, Nice Lightning Spear, I've got Gravitational Missile, Gavel of Heimer, and Mesmer's Orb. Now this area here, the Bonny jail, I do seem to get quite a few invasions here, 2v2s as well, so it kind of feels like it's a little bit of a gank spot. Now this guy here, his phantom died as I was entering the invasion, so unfortunately for him he kind of got caught on his own. But yeah, I have to say I do like the twin blades. So I really liked the Knight's twin swords in the base game, because of their scaling. They work quite well on heavy infusion, and I used to like just putting Cragblade on them, and if you use the Iron Jar Aromatic, you could basically just stand in front of a boss and tank it. You know, it was you know, very one-dimensional strategy, but it did the job. But no, this weapon, it looks cool. I like the moveset obviously, because you know, twin blade movesets is really good. And I still get some decent damage with the you know, the Int Faith scaling. So I think the Int scaling was C and the Faith scaling was D, so it's not a lot, but you know, still good. Obviously you still get quite a few invasions outside Melania's boss room. Now because of the spells I had here, I thought I'd be able to get both of them. So Massive Putrescence, if you haven't used it before, it's basically like Cannon of Heimer. So you get this large projectile, it's chargeable, goes a long way, but after it lands you get this Ghost Flame explosion as well. So there's kind of like two chances to do damage. And then Knight's Lightning Spear is obviously a really good follow-up. So that is the Phantom down. And another one of my favourite spells, which is Gravitational Missile. It's a really great nuisance spell just for putting players off. Obviously you might do some damage. Someone did post a comment on a previous video that if you follow it up with Fleeting Microcosm, it's like really good. So imagine you've got someone caught, you know, in a corridor. You know, the Gravitational Missile spell, you know, they're going to get caught by that. And then if you just hit them with Fleeting Microcosm, which basically, the cosmos basically just appears underneath them and above them. From the sounds of it, you know, this guy was saying it was doing really good damage. Now this invasion here, this is a really rare thing, so you might be forgiven for thinking, if you watch invasions on YouTube, that us invaders all have perfect, unblemished 100% invasion records and we win every one. But it might surprise you, we actually don't. And this one didn't go my way, but I put it in because this area is just a great place to invade, the storehouse. So because of all the, you know, the different levels you've got, the verticality, it's quite good for chasing people down, or if you're being chased, there's lots of opportunities to get away. But it's kind of one of these, it's just kind of chaos from beginning to end. Obviously the fun police turn up, as you can see there. He's got a big jar on his head. But yeah, it was just one of those where, you know what, even though you don't win it, you have a good time. So I thought I'd post it. There's another one coming up later as well. But I mean, I feel about blues, I think the same way a lot of people feel about them, which is in Elden Ring. There's kind of no purpose to them other than to be gankers. You know, I did like it in Dark Souls 1, where it was basically, you know, like a revenge mission. So, you know, you invaded, you killed a host, they've indicted you, so you're going to get invaded by a blue. You know, I just kind of wish there was a bit more purpose to it. I also don't like the fact that, you know, you kill one blue and then another one turns up. I do wish they'd cap it so it's one blue per invasion. In fact, I also wish they'd change it so once you kill their phantom, they can't resummon them either. So it's like that's that phantom's chance now until the host rests at the grace. But you know, I don't think they're going to make any fundamental changes to Elden Ring. Obviously, given it's almost kind of end of development now, isn't it? They're probably going to do a couple more patches just to tidy up some balancing, some performance fixes as well. So I play on PS5, and like even I've noticed on performance mode, some of the boss fights I do get a bit of slowdown. I don't think it's as bad as what some people have experienced on PC, but yeah, hopefully next game some technical improvements. In fact, I do remember reading there was an interview Miyazaki did for Edge magazine before Elden Ring came out. So Edge magazine is like a UK games publication, if you haven't come across it before. It's quite a good one as well. But they were asking him if he and the team at FromSoft were feeling any kind of pressure because of how good Demon's Souls Remake looked. You know, both the graphics and the frame rate. But quick aside, gravitational missile is now everywhere in PvP. I think a lot of people have kind of twigged just how good it is. But yeah, so he was asked if the team felt any pressure, you know, about Elden Ring's kind of graphics and its performance. And he was quite open. He basically said that graphical fidelity was not a priority for them. Obviously, they want the games to, you know, look nice and run well, but it's not where they focus their time. Obviously, it's kind of gameplay and art design and really great spells like that Thorn one. But I kind of hope next time around they do kind of bump things up a little bit. I do think it's kind of weird, this kind of cross-gen thing that we've had, where, you know, it's better to play the PS4 version of a game on a PS5 because that runs better than the PS5 version. Right, here we have a Red who this kind of felt like it was a setup. So this Red was actually kind of, you know, buddies with the host and the Phantom, because they are nowhere to be seen. And it kind of felt like he was actively looking for the invader. It's not like one of these, you know, sometimes you get them in Liurnia where I think they're just new players and they think, oh, I can lock onto that Red. You know, I must, you know, that must be an enemy. So this guy here, you can see he's doing the slow walk because this actually went on for quite a few minutes. But, you know, Twinblade moveset is very nice. Bit of cold infusion and he's down. So he gets the nod. Again, that's another thing I wish they'd fix. It's kind of, you know, remove the friendly fire. And here we have the other invasion that I didn't win. So these guys were kind of hosting and ganking in this dungeon. So this guy is just sat there. He's obviously waiting. So this was kind of like meant to be a little setup ambush. So the host is going to appear in a minute, wearing the trick mirror to look like a filled finger. And boom, there goes the Phantom. I love Mesmerzorb, even if it is completely busted. And there we have our host. So Rabath's Cannon, that goes on every build. I absolutely love it. If you haven't used it before, it's like the Jar Cannon, but it has some magic damage and it has tracking. Oh, and there's the Fun Police that have turned up as well. So even if you don't have the stats for it, just being able to knock people down off ledges and bridges and stuff, it's really cool. So here, you know, they've jumped down, so it's like, okay, right, I'm not going to let them gank me. So I have a bright idea, which is I know there's a lift behind me. So he's casting Miquella's Light there. So I'm going to take that lift down, and I am basically going to get the drop on them. Because it's a dungeon, I know there's a little ledge before the the elevator hits the ground, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to send the lift back up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch them on the way down. Anyway, that's my grand plan. That is my bright idea. The blue is completely wise to it. So I just think, all right, it's time to go for broke. Can I get Mesmerzorb off and take them both out? And the answer is no. But anyway, it was a fun one. I enjoyed it. I do play for fun. Anyway, here's the stats and gear. If you like the video and want to drop me a like or a follow, that'd be awesome. It all helps with the algorithm on YouTube. And I will catch you on the next one. Cheers.